staffers not doing anything, right? I started recording this. And check details, time. When you see the time, then you realize that the guy had started recording, taking pictures of the actions and inactions of some of the medical staff. They want to get details. I dare them to bring footages. They have a CCTV camera there. Bring a single footage that anybody physically assaulted any medical staffer. I will bear consequences of it.
You see, this particular issue, I didn't want to talk about it, but considering some one or two things, I think we must all speak out. This is not the first time this kind of thing is going on in our hospitals. And you know, I can't remember this story when we were in primary school. I think it was class 6. The story about the tortoise, the singing bird, and the climbing plant. According to the story, in the forest, the bird was in a tree singing. The tortoise warned the bird to stop singing because the noise is going far and they could be located by a hunter. The bird didn't listen and was still singing. The tortoise spoke to the climbing plant to talk to the bird to heed to advice. But then the climbing plant was like, famine. At the end of the day, when the hunter stepped into the forest and shot at the bird fell where the tortoise was. In his attempt to pick the bird, he saw the tortoise. Now he needed something to put the bird and the tortoise in, or something to tie to the bird and the tortoise. He looked around. He saw the climbing plant. So he cut the climbing plant and used it to tie the bird and the tortoise together for easily handle. So at the end of the day, you, the climbing plant that you said, now here you are. You've all had yourself messed up. That is the reason why I thought about this thing and I was like, no. We must speak up. This kind of attitude in some of the hospitals is becoming too much. I quite remember a man won a court case against Rich Hospital about this same medical negligence issue. Me, myself, I quite remember that I took someone to a hospital. I wouldn't like to mention the name of the hospital for security reasons. But then I was a manager in a company, and one of my workers collapsed at work. I don't even know how what happened. All of a sudden, it was drawn to my attention that she has collapsed. I had to rush this girl to the hospital. When I got to the hospital with the girl, I drove straight to the emergency department. Could you imagine that the nurse over there was telling me to go and take vitals? I asked the nurse, vitals for what? This is an emergency case. The person is unconscious. I drove the person in for you to attend to the person and you are asking me to go for vitals. The nurse then replied me and told me that, what position am I to determine an emergency case and a non-emergency case? I was like seriously. So I was having that banter with the nurse because I didn't want to go for the vitals. If I should go for the vitals, this girl will die. So as we're having that banter, and I was also insisting she attend to the girl. All of a sudden, the girl, I don't know whether she was passing off or something, I don't know, because I realized that, you see, when a car knocks a fowl or a car knocks a dog and the animal is about to die, the way it will start shaking, so that all of a sudden it will start shaking. Then after some time, it will cool down, then the animal will die. That was how the girl started behaving. The girl was just shaking and knocking. So God being so good, then I don't know whether it's the senior doctor or the overall or something. He was in uniform. The hospital is this one of the security personnel's hospital. So he was in that particular security personnel uniform with a badge and everything. So she came and then she was like, she called the nurse and she was like, is this not an emergency case? What are you sitting there doing? Come on, get up and attend to the patient. That was when the girl and some other nurse started attending to the patient, to the girl. Then the particular officer went to the OPD, blasted all the doctors there, and was like, what are they there doing when they had emergencies there that they have to attend to? And God being so good, this officer drove all the doctors out of the OPD to come to the emergency ward. Could you imagine that 3 doctors, I'm telling you, 3 doctors were treating this girl, in addition to 4 other nurses. And they laid this girl on a stretch. One was fixing drip, the other was taking blood sample for the lab, the other 2 was testing sugar, and then the other one was also testing for the how do you even call it, for temperature and all those things. And then another one also went in for oxygen, and then they fixed oxygen on this girl. So because of the 3 doctors and the 4 nurses that were all working together, they were able to bring this girl to life. Because one was fixing oxygen, whilst the other one was fixing the drip, whilst the other one too was taking the vitals, the sugar level, the temperature, and all those stuff. And this girl has been brought back to life. Like, I was so shocked. So like I said, I thought about the whole thing. I was like, hey, so had it not been that this officer has appeared on the scene, and that is the end for the girl, and the girl would die. That would be the end. It's like God want to, has a special plan in her life, but also, you see, God being so good, this girl is alive now and working. Everything is okay with her, and I've just been so thankful to that particular officer and thankful to God as well. Another instance in another hospital, someone was brought in the night, emergency. The person was given a bed to lay on and was not attended to. According to the story, the person had not been able to go for private for about a week, because already the person was already sick, and then was on treatment, and I don't know what happened. According to 1 or 2 reasons, the person can't go for private for a week. So the person was brought to the hospital. They didn't attend to this person. The person was there. When the relatives were asking, where is doctor? They said the doctor will be coming. Where is doctor? The doctor will be coming. Where is doctor? The doctor will be coming. Till the next day. The next day in the afternoon, still no show of doctor. And this patient just died. The patient died. The patient died. So you see, some of these medical negligences that has been going on in the hospital, it's not only reach hospital. The earlier we speak about it and voice out what we all experienced, the better for us, so that the right things will be put in place. If they think they are understaffed, so that they will be staffed and they will have enough workers. If it's some other problem, it could be solved for them. But this kind of negligence that is going on, it is just too much. Just too much, and it's becoming